Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Fall is in another 2 days, 3 days. We welcome fall. In life, when you fall, when you're about to fall, you get questions. When you get questions, your husband, your wife, and your friends, your colleagues sometimes cannot solve it. It is difficult. Some problems take years to solve, some problems some few months. There are lots of people involved, and therefore, the problem in our backyard. The problem in his backyard. Mr. Karthik and Priya, they had a strange problem. Some time ago, there was a problem in the city of Godly. Some 25 stray dogs were seen on the street, and then 25 dogs, and they were all charging at human beings. They were all saying, Godly city, oh my God, give us solutions. And God will give solutions because it's a godly city. It was in the TV yesterday morning. Sometimes it is stray dogs, sometimes it is stray human beings. The stray human beings carry certain things. The schools, colleges, they're all hit. Very famous people are also become victims sometimes. In our stories, you got questions, and I'm going to prove that Baba has got answers. When Baba has got answers, you got to ask Baba, right? Some people think, we won't ask Baba. Baba has to come to our doorstep and knock on the door with answers. Wrong. You got to ask Baba. In case you can't ask Baba, I'm always there, right? I'm Shirdi Sai. I'm within Shirdi Sai, therefore Shirdi Sai uncle. I asked only two people whether they read the email. I found out in my lifetime, in previous 4 Janmas when I was a Shirdi Baba, that depending on your free will, you always create karma and karmic bonds. That is first paragraph. The karmic bonds sometimes become very heavy. So you lead a very heavy karmic account. You have a Chase Bank account, karmic account in a K Bank. Very heavy, sometimes heavy means in a very low, negative balance, okay? Don't think it is $2 million balance. Success and failures, I told in the email, heartbreaks and relationship, you all see every day. I have seen it. They're all the ramifications of the karma that you face today because of the free will. The misuse of the free will you had. Therefore, misusing of the free will reduces your good karma. Therefore, you end up in hello, Sriram, Raghuram. This is the karmic balance. This is called the karmic cause and effect dance. I once told 5 years ago the cosmic dance of Chidambaram, Lord Shiva, Nataraj, Chidambaram Nataraj. That's a cosmic dance. When you see the cosmic dance that human beings are doing, it is, we all feel very sorry, right? Because your answers are not coming up. Therefore, that's why I told in the second paragraph, this equations, these questions don't have equations with Shirdi Baba, and therefore they torment you. You can't find immediate answers. And therefore, if you want to find immediate answers, you got to come to the satsang. The satsang is only once a month. It is easily accessible. Uncle is not charging any dakshina for this. Okay? At least until this satsang. Vinny Chitluri had several beautiful stories about this heavy karmic account. One of them starts like this. Vivek Majgaonkar in Mumbai. Vivek Majgaonkar was a very great devotee in Mumbai, and then in life, he was very concerned in life about its values. And he thought, if devoid of Shirdi Baba, there is absolutely no value. Why did he think so? Because of the rock and the lowest ebb of his life, and Shirdi Baba came and saved him. But those things we are not going into because there are 18 pages. I'm going to go only about particular thing. He wanted to go and present himself at the feet of Shirdi Baba at Shirdi. He had never been to Shirdi, and therefore he said, I'll go to Shirdi sometime. And therefore, he wanted to take his family. When he wanted to see his family, he took some few relatives who are all few women and their children. They all arranged a large SUV, and in the SUV, they comfortably reached Shirdi. They reached at about 9:30 p.m. and therefore next morning they said, "You all take rest, and the next morning we will go." Shirdi being a very advanced place as far as lodging and food is concerned, they were all very happy, and then they stayed there. Next day morning they saw the Arati, Kakad Arati, right? And then they saw, and then at about 11 a.m. they were ready to go. But at that time, the few relatives who heard of Akkalkot Maharaj, they said, "We would like to see Akkalkot." Nobody knew how far is Akkalkot from Shirdi. All of you must be knowing. Some of you went to Akkalkot. Some of you may not know Akkalkot Maharaj, forgive me. He was somebody, a Sadguru, who did lots of miracles in your lives, people's lives. And then he talked to the driver, Vivek. He said, driver said, "We will reach in about 2 hours. It's 11 a.m. We are starting. Okay, start. 2 minutes, we will go there at about 1:30, 1:15. We'll have plenty of food and we can go for lunch." While driving, the driver who said 2 hours, he kept on driving. Neither did he know the route nor the exact distance, the time it's going to take. And Akkalkot was not 2 hours distance from Shirdi. If you've gone there from Shirdi, you have to go to Sholapur. We have 4 or 5 devotees from Sholapur. It's a very famous Shiva temple in Sholapur. You have to go to Sholapur. You went to a temple, Mahabaleshwar. It's somewhere close because it's Maharashtra, right? Yeah, Ujjain, right? So it's there, and then he went to finally about for 7 hours, 6 hours, he went to Sholapur, and then at Sholapur people told, "Oh, you have to go for another 2 hours to reach Akkalkot." Vivek was in a shock. Finally, they reached there at about 9:45. By the time they got out of the SUV, it was about 10 o'clock. His idea was to find a room for the ladies and children, get them there into the rooms, and he go and find 10:15, find some restaurant, right? Get some food. But then it is 10 o'clock, and Akkalkot in those days was very, very deserted. At least today we have got a Bhakta Nivas, and then in Bhakta Nivas will have food piping hot 24 hours. That was not the case, and therefore he went on seeing it was being constructed. He went on going into the end of the village. At the end of the village, while going, he found a tin-shacked beetle shop. Okay, and in the shop, they had all the, beta and other things, peda and other things were being sold. And then they went there and said, he said, "Can you give us some food? You got a shackle of a restaurant." And he said, "Restaurant is already cold." So, closed, Maharaj. What's going on? It's already closed, and therefore you can't get any food. I'm so sorry. Tomorrow morning you come, you'll get wonderful food. Morning 8 o'clock. But then all the children were, hunger was gnawing in their bellies, and the ladies were saying, "Get us some food." And Vivek was in a very great mind. He couldn't find anything. He went there to the end of the village again, and then the SUV turned around, okay? So he turned around, and then he was coming back to the shackle of a, restaurant, the shop. And then in the shop, he again requested, he said, "No, nobody, no change, we don't have any food." And therefore, he went into the mid-village, and then mid-village, there's nobody, no home, everything was dark. Nobody had even light in those days. And therefore, he was coming back. When he was coming back, he just shot past the SUV, went ahead of the same restaurant where the fellow was got a small shop, mom and dad, pop shop. And he was just looking at him, and then he just went past, not knowing what to do. At that point, like most of you do, when you have a problem, settle down. When you have a problem, You always think of Shirdi Baba as a last measure. I don't like people coming late. They may be presidents or prime ministers of countries, or like Veerabhadra Rao Garu, great devotees, my personal friends, Vishwanath and Lalita, wonderful devotees. Lalita, that is, their mothers. Even if Padmaji comes from all the way from Vishakhapatnam, Sitandara temple, from the high school photograph, she jumps out and comes late. Said, Padmaji, you know Shirdi Baba better than me. Is it right? Is it dharma coming late to the satsang? Because these satsangs are very important. I'm driving home a beautiful point, and therefore at that point he said, he comes running. I'm coming back to the story. Akkalkot. We are in Akkalkot, okay? Don't take my comment seriously, because I get very serious because I'm within the consciousness of Shirdi Sai. Certain things in the world I don't tolerate. Like Shirdi Baba, I suddenly change. My anger will be like Shirdi Baba, 10 seconds. But in the 10 seconds, what will happen? I may throw the mic. No, I throw only this. That's the first and the last thing I have thrown. That is the only thing I have thrown. At Veerabhadra Rao Garu. He's a great intellect. The Padmaji I spoke is his dear mother. Vishakhapatnam, the school, steel plant. Yaad hai na? Yeah. He comes here, Maharaj, come in, everybody come in. He said, what happened? Something shocking. So Vivek stops the SUV, and then the driver is looking back. He can't drive anymore because ped mein chua kud raha hai. The rats are jumping in the stomach is an Hindi idiom, and then that means you are very hungry. And he says, come there. He said, Maharaji, come there. Ask everyone to come there. What happened? He says, 5 stainless steel plates, stainless steel buckets. In the 5 buckets, you got lots of food like cashew pilaf. I'll tell you exactly what it is. And potato curry, puri, pani, rice, and lentil grey, and of course, perugonna. I can't leave perugonna, right? Most of you love it. And all these things are piping hot except perugonna. He called everybody, and the children, everybody started eating. When they started eating, I forgot to tell you, when my closest family came in, he was praying in the van when he was jumping out of the van. Baba, is this the way you protect me? I've been praying at your feet for so much of time. I was in Shirdi. Just this morning I was in Shirdi, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. We are traveling. You tested us too much. You tested the children of what? So he's coming out. He's praying, and then the fellow comes out and jumps out. Baba answered in a jiffy, meaning Baba answered in 10 seconds, 5 seconds, 5 nanoseconds. Am I right? So this is what happens when you have questions. I have several chapters to go now. This is what Shirdi Baba does. Me and my wife have actually seen. Most of you have actually seen this kind of help. I have seen all miracles all my life. Yesterday I saw a miracle. Today morning somebody said, Mama, I got a job. My husband got a job. Sri Ramakrishna. You see here, Vijaya and Raghuram. Raghuram, your mama. Where? You are here. Okay. Congratulations. He's going to get a job. He has already gotten the job reporting at Visa. Right? Get several Visa cards in your pocket. Rich man. Madhuri Devi. She is watching this. I said about questions, right? Because of previous Janma's cosmic dance, cause and effect. Madhuri Devi has got questions about some member of the family. Who doesn't have questions? I got so many people who have got questions. There is a person, Austin. She had a very big question in her mind. She talked to me about that, and okay, her sister in Houston had another big question, but then she's not coming to the puja in Houston today. And then who else is not having? I have 1,000 names here who had lots of questions. Okay. Question after questions you face. Baba is never tired of solving them. The questions that these two sisters met with are very, very serious. I have brought the sheet, Ramakrishna Rosanuru, whatever. Our representative in Houston, Srimati Nandini ji, I'll call her Nandini, had a very big question in her heart about her husband's health. He lost the battle and he passed away. Because, destiny, the good karma and other things in my email shows somebody's destiny road is over. Somebody's questions cannot be answered by him anymore because he's going to take them away and then bring them closer to him and then answer. This is a real life, ladies and gentlemen. This is the real life. Sometimes he helps you and then you go to your hospital, you come back. Nandini's husband, several times he came back. But ultimately the day came and he hugged him and said, "You belong to us." That is also a very difficult answer to take. We all stand with you, Nandini, in this hour of big loss, irreparable loss, I would say. And when I talk about these, we have several achievements. Several achievements of, one moment. Too many devotees in this world for Shirdi Baba. Every nook and cranny of India and any country on the face of the earth, you have Shirdi Baba temples. I'm not lying to you, right? In one of the temples, Soumya Jayadev, I want to congratulate her for her first child named Vish Ruth. Vish, part me and part Ruth. She had lots of questions. That's the most important thing I want to tell you all. And all of them were answered. She had lots of questions for the last 1 year or so, or 1.5 years. She's in California. She went on asking and then she went on receiving answers. And blessings to Deepu in Houston for completely recovering from the knee surgery. It's a very important thing. And also congratulations to Srimati Suchendra Basu's husband, who went through a 7-hour surgery just 2 days ago in Calcutta. Ron is here? No. Ron? Oh, you're there? Oh, very good. You are aware of the surgery, how difficult, how critical it is, right? So is he out? Good. Out meaning he's safe. So I bless that soul, and then blessings to all the Atlanta devotees. They are very magical, and then guided by Sri Sabarinathan. He's very nice, and then thank you very much, Sabri. Sishri's new home in Alexandria, Virginia. She had so many questions. Currently living, I'll go suddenly 55 years ago or 100 years ago, but then currently they are living. She had so many questions, all around her only questions. But in the process, I asked her to go through her job and get into vice principal. She got vice principal's position. She's living in Alexandria in Virginia, very close to DC. And then she found a very good home. What do you call that home? Town home, yeah. Town home she bought, and then their parents were very proud. Her brother, Apur, is also having lots of questions. He's a wonderful man. He's a very, very charming person. His character is so full of niceties. He's doing a good job. He's making close to 189K. But still, one big question, how to find a spouse? He's very young. How to find a person? That has become a big question. So when I put that question to him, he brings somebody the very next week. This has invariably happened. Somebody in Austin, I want to marry, I'm 38 years old, I want to marry. So you have to find somebody 38, 39 or 40. She sent 3 men's pictures. 2 men are absolutely unfit to marry her. The third person, don't even look at the picture. I told her, because that is the truth. Because his background and all that from the picture, I was ogling at the picture. Baba, it appeared to me the entire essay. I told her the essay, said, no. Come to the puja today. Soumya is in the puja in Austin, I know. And she is going to meet with somebody pretty soon. Because at 38, she was very anxious. You got to meet somebody and marry. That is the same anxiety you have with Vivek. When he went to Akkalkot, he thought we won't see the Akkalkot Maharaj's, temple, and then we will come back. No. Something like that happened to me. about 55 years ago, 60 years ago, when I was an engineering student. Tired of doing the hydraulics lab, with all engines and all that. I'm coming back at 4:30 or 4:20. I know 4:22 that time in my watch. I'm coming there, and the PSG College of Technology, Coimbatore, has got 2 gates. You passed both the gates just like 10, 15 days ago. I came out. I was very tired, and there was a small shackle of a tea shop. And then a poor fellow is there, 4:20. I'll tell you the story to show this is one of the million miracles I have gone through in life. A million is probably short. I see miracle every moment in your lives, in my life. I tell somebody, face somebody, some email, I see a miracle. I just reply some email, and then the pad comes. Vijaya emailed me. I gave the address. She didn't reply to me. I know that she's going to come over here. But then here, I go into that. In Tamil, I say, very uneducated, please give me a chai, an iced tea, and I'm very tired. Pat comes a reply. Sir, you are doing the boni. In Tamil, boni means you are the first customer. You are doing the boni. What? It's 4:21. You are doing the boni. You didn't have any customer today? Didn't have any customer? He said, Paya, meaning, younger brother. Paya, nobody came. Nobody came, and then all my batter, everything is going, waste. And I don't know, my wife is, I don't know how I'm going to face my wife today evening, because there won't be any money. I said, your wife you are going to face. She's going to face you here very soon. That was my reply. He didn't understand. Did not understand. He said, go and bring a cup of tea, please, in Tamil. Chai konduvanga, please. All of you know Tamil, right? That difficult language, unlike Telugu. I can talk about Visavi, Telugu, Hindi, Tamil. I have to be on the side of Telugu, because 99.999% of my devotees, 0.001, don't worry, they are not Tamil devotees. 99.9 are Telugu devotees. Therefore, I speak very good Telugu, Bhavnara. Yeah, after that, English. Anglicized to Telugu or Teluguized to English. He says, Appa, I really am very, but I'll bring you a chai. Where are you coming from? No, I'm a 4th year engineering student. Don't worry about that. Aap chai leke aiye. By the time he's making the tea, I could hear the splashes of water and all that. Okay, he's pouring from the jug. 2 trucks, 2 huge buses come from E-Road. E-Road is 2 hours from PSG College of Technology, Coimbatore, called Pilamedu. They come, and then the headman, right, leader, comes out in the Coimbatore counter fashion. He takes that dhoti out and then ties it like it's an idiom, girdling the loins, right? Putting the dhoti up and then girdling the loins. He comes in and then said, Thambi, the owner enga? Where is the owner, Thambi? I tell them he has gone to fetch my tea, but you can bring all your 2 busloads. 2 busloads come. A real story, very enchanting story. 2 busloads come. I keep on saying 108 people are coming. There are also 108, including the henchman. Okay, that counter says, Thambi, in English, I want some idlis and doshas for how many? For all of them. And where is the bride and groom? There is a humor there. The bride and groom saw 108 and they went to a very advanced hotel, 5-star hotel. There is one in Pyramid. They have recently built. When I was a student, none. He says, ask the bride and groom to come. I want to introduce myself, and I am a student. And then the bride, groom, both of them came. I gave them the best rickety old chair. I gave them the best, and then they were sitting. The fellow came with a cup of tea. I offered the cup of tea to the henchman. Said, you must be very hungry. You are coming from a marriage. You didn't take your lunch. He said, our lunch were all at 10, 11 a.m. It's already 4:30. We are very hungry. And then this fellow comes and cuts a very sorry figure. Said, I don't have batter. Thambi, I don't have any batter. Very, hissing in my ears. I said, don't worry. Ask your wife to come. Ask your wife to come, and if you have assistants in Pilamedu, very close by, the wife was there, I knew that. So he called the wife, but then to make batter and idlis for 108 people, he wants 4 idlis and 2 doshas for everybody. And then 108 cups of chai, piping hot chai. I told him, don't worry, my dear Chitiwala, I've been seeing you for 3.5, 4 years. You are there. But then today is a very sad day. Don't worry about that. You call your wife and then call your assistant. I gave them all the chairs and then they sat. And then he went inside. I told him I can also do some batter. When his wife came, he started doing the batter. The batter came. Suddenly it increased. And then I helped him pour it in the only vessel he had. And then he said, go and make idlis and dosha. First dosha. He started making dosha. He made one dosha to the henchman. All the plates were with doshas. He didn't even have plates. My dear devotees, watch carefully. The henchman counter was girdling his loins. Okay? He just looked at all the doshas. He looked at me. He said, Thambi, how is this possible? No, you are hungry. You wanted to eat. You just eat. No questions. So he started eating the best doshas in town. Better than Gauri Shankar. And I introduced you to Gauri Shankar, right? Gauri Shankar coffee, 75 rupees. The best coffee in the world. Excepting our home, the coffee that she makes. That's a humor. People have lost sense of humor or what? And then they all left. They paid heavily. And then the fellow became rich, I told him. And then the Gounder henchman thanked me. And then he kept on ogling at me. And then his looks gradually drifted to a dusty picture, the back of me of Shirdi Baba. It was very dusty. And then I just looked at him. I knew when I entered the restaurant, I saw Shirdi Baba there, full of dust. And they looked at both of us and then left in the car. The bridegroom and the bride, very, the coy and shy bride came and said in a counter fashion, Romba nandringa, meaning thank you very much in Tamil. They left. I went into my room and from the next day, look at Baba's wonder. I was a student, where is money? My pocket was a National Merit Scholarship holder. I will have 10 rupees. 100 rupees I was getting from the government, 10 rupees for me, 90 rupees for my mother. That's what I was doing. And from the next day, when I come out of thermodynamics lab, the fellow will call me with a hot tea, free. Every day free. I got my dosha idli free. Everything was for gratis. So I told him, why? He said, Appa, Paya, you did a miracle. I don't understand. How did that happen? I said, go and clear that picture and put a nice frame and then put it on your kalapeti, meaning on your treasure box. Neetu's family in Pune had, I'll come to that story. That is 3 parts in the annals of Shirdi Baba. I'll come to this story. Among all the scientific officers with the greatest scientific temperaments in India, the one working for Atomic Energy Commission, his name was Sri Gopal Rao. Gopal Rao never heard of Shirdi Baba. Gopal Rao was a very dedicated scientific officer, and then he always used to think of God, not necessarily Shirdi Baba. And then he had several promotions, and he has become a senior scientific officer when he was not even 39, 40 years. He was working in, where else? India means Hyderabad. He was working in Hyderabad in the real story also. And then he came to know that scientists are being sent to Sweden and then South Korea. There is a small town near Seoul on the southwest. So he heard that, and then he was thinking, he was asking his gods, whoever it is, oh God, please send me also to South Korea or Sweden, preferably South Korea, because that scientific temperament is very high in Japan and South Korea. Therefore, he was praying. When he was praying, 1 month went away, and then suddenly he got a call from his boss, Suri Narayan Rao. So the boss said, a few papers, you signed the papers, it's all for your passport. He was very happy, unbeknownst to anybody, he just signed the papers, it is for his passport, and the passport came next week, Monday. And the chief executive told him, your colleague is being sent to, 2 people are sent to Sweden, and you and your junior are being sent to South Korea. He was very, very happy, and then by the time, 1 week before, he was given a Shirdi Baba's picture by one of his colleagues, and therefore he has framed it, and then he was praying every day, Baba, please send me to South Korea. and then I'll see you there, I'll see you in Hong Kong on the way. He was just imagining. And then, can you hear me? My throat is giving. And then what happened was on the 11th April 1991, he was praying, and on the 11th April itself he got it. And then on the 5th May 1991, he left Hyderabad for South Korea. They had to go to Mumbai because the Swiss Air flight that he was taking was coming from Switzerland to Mumbai, Mumbai to Hong Kong to Seoul. And from Seoul, he has to get away. His horse will take them to the city. I'll mention the name of the city right now. So he was going there, and then when he got into the flight started moving. The flight was at 1:20 a.m. Until 1 o'clock, he was already cleared by customs. He was going through the duty-free shops, and then in the duty-free shops, he was yearning to see a Shirdi Baba picture. There was no picture at all. It's already 1:09, 1:08, 1:09. Suddenly, he turned around to go to the gate. There in a shop, there was a Shirdi Baba picture. A very small picture that caught his attention. And then he got the picture. Bought the picture, and then just gave some extra money, and then he ran into the plane. When it started moving on the runway, the time was 1:30 a.m. And then his first experience in the international flight, and therefore he was very, very, afraid of all these things. In those days, Air India and other things were not there. But then he kept on saying, Om Sai, Sri Sai, Jai Jai Sai, he kept on saying. At that time, the flight was going at 900 miles an hour, exact mentioned in the book, and then it was 40,000 feet above. Okay? 40,000 feet above. I had 3 years ago at 40,000 feet, I had a very, what shall I say, this experience I had, I will not describe. A very strange experience. I was standing near the men's room in the flight, and then bordering business class and economy class. I turned my cell phone was working, and then I read this message. Anyway, he didn't get any such message, but then look at the surprise. A tall gentleman was sitting in the next chair, in the next seat. And then in the next seat, when he was saying, he said, where are you going, sir? And because he's a scientific officer, full of this thing, he is a post-doc like Dr. Raghumama. So he was saying, what's your name? He said, I am Raj Mirpuri. I am Mirpuri. I'm going to Hong Kong on business. I live in Shirdi. Okay, I gave a hint. But then the story itself is extremely wonderful. That's a good hint. I'm coming from Shirdi, and therefore I am Mirpuri, and then I'm going to Hong Kong. And then at that time, he starts talking Shirdi. He heard Shirdi, and then he started filibustering about Shirdi, his recent love for Shirdi Baba, the picture he got in the duty-free shop, blah, 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 blah. He was saying, and then Mirpuri Sahab, he was wondering, oh, he's a great devotee of Shirdi Baba. And therefore, he asked, okay, it's all right, but can you prove Shirdi Baba right now with something that you have? Can you prove, because you love Shirdi Baba so much, right? He asked Mirpuri. And then when Mirpuri stopped, the time was already 8 a.m. It was 1:20 when he got into the plane, 2:10. It was taxiing, but then it was already close to Hong Kong, and therefore they said it is 6 a.m. or 8 a.m. So 8 a.m. it is there, and then therefore the breakfast came, and then the breakfast given there. He gave the breakfast to Shirdi Baba as a Naivedyam, and then the breakfast is flying Swiss Air, right? When the gentleman Mirpuri said, you show me a proof that Shirdi Baba is here. Show me a proof. Enakku proof kanbiyungal for mommy in Tamil. She understands English, but she can't express her emotions, beautiful emotions in English. Therefore, he is asking for a proof, and in the Swiss Air breakfast plate, he underlines, he takes a pen out, Swiss Air, SAI comes. He underlines the word SAI, Sai, and then he shows it to Mirpuri Sahab. So this is Sai. Sai is there in Swiss Air. Sai is there everywhere. He is filibustering, and Mirpuri Sahab dekhte hain. He looks at it and said, he is after all right. Sai. He found Sai. I asked him, show me a proof. That is more than a proof. And then he said, I'm doing, what do you do there? I'm a scientific officer, blah, 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 and all that. And then suddenly flight landed in Hong Kong. And when it was about to land, he said, can I have your visiting card? So he gives the card in which it states Mirpuri and all that. And then in the card also there is a small round in the round, there is a picture of Shirdi Baba. Mirpuri. Shirdi address is there. And then he gets a card, he doesn't say that, and then he keeps on looking, he goes and into the Hong Kong airport, and then it vanishes. He vanishes. At that point, he is wondering, he wanted a proof, I gave a proof. What shall I do? And then the flight starts for Seoul. The other city near Seoul is, guests come there to Busan. The flight goes to Busan, and then Busan, they take a taxi and go to Changwon city in South Korea. And he lands there, and then he keeps on thinking about Mirpuri. His address is there. He into this guest hospitality. Then they take him finally to Changwon city. In the Changwon city, when they reach, it is 8 p.m. He is not hungry at all, even though there is a time difference between India and Seoul. And the host showed the big hotel, 5-star hotel. He goes into the room. When he goes into the room, before dinner, he says, hey, wait a second, I'll show you the city lights. I'll show you the city lights from the balcony. And then Raghu Mama is getting that story a little bit, because long ago I told the story, long ago. Yeah, my wife says, recollects. This is a beautiful story, particularly now, right now, it turns into a mega story. He goes into the balcony, and before he going to the balcony, he says, Baba, you have told me you are everywhere. You are here, you are in the United States, you are in Siberia, yeah, you are in China, you are in India, you must be here also. Before he steps into, the host is taking him into the balcony. Show me that you are in Changwon city. Do you remember the story? Oh, you remember? Very good. You all have extremely good devotees who think of Shirdi Baba would be remembering, and some of you are extremely wonderful devotees. Thank you. So he goes to the balcony, and then in the balcony at the distance about 4 buildings away, he sees he says, oh, all this city is full of lights and all that. Our scientific officer Gopal Rao sees neon lights, SAI. What is the mathematical probability? You may be a PhD in mathematics. Hey, what is the probability that you'll see soy in Changwon city? This is the probability. He is wondering, he tells that this thing, he is asking his South Korean host, who speaks a smattering of English, says, what is that? He said, oh, that is SAI. And then, can you please take me to that building? I don't like dinner now, right now. Keep the dinner here. Take me there. He takes me to that hotel, big hotel, and then he goes into the top. Take me to the top. He goes there. In the word saloon. In South Korea, saloon means is a bar where they serve beer, etc., right? You should belong to this country or England. Anyway, South Korea. So he goes there, SALOON. SA is burning, nothing else is burning. On the L, the bottom is off, only I is burning. Give me a soy. Do you like this story? Do you like this story? This is a remarkable story I have seen in millions of stories I tell people. All of them are real. Even Veerabhadra Rao Garu wouldn't have heard unless he came to that satsang. But he has got a scientific rhythm. Once in 4 satsangs he will come. I don't know why. This is the mathematics I never understood. One day he is going to tell me. Vishwanath Garu will say. Huh? Dependence. Oh, the theory goes on the dependence. Oh, so many dependents. Everybody behind him is a dependent. You are Baba's dependent. Oh, okay. All right. Kudos to Veerabhadra Rao Garu. Okay. Very nice. And therefore he say, I could see the neon lights exactly SAI clearly, and the other letters were not glowing. He wrote a huge essay when he came. But then you think this is the miracle? He came home. He was a big success in Changwon. Like Dr. Geeta went to Japan. She called me. That's a big story. Dr. Geeta and Dr. Venkat, her husband, they are watching this. That's a very big story. Similar story. She sees Shirdi Baba everywhere. Even if the very humble Japanese scientists come there, Nobel laureates and all that she speaks with. She says she's looking for Shirdi Sai. Such a great devotee with a PhD, postdoc. Now, the greater miracle than this. Do you remember? Do anybody who said, I know this story, do you remember this miracle? Continuing the big story of Sri, the scientific officer, Gopal Rao, he comes home to Hyderabad. Where else? He is from Hyderabad. He comes there and then he sends a good gift to the Shirdi address. Gopal Rao and Shirdi address. And Shirdi, the post office says it sends it to the Sansan. How did they know that the gift should go to Sansan? I was wondering. I couldn't see. I thought so many things when I first read the story several years ago. And Sri Gopal Rao is still living. Anyway. The Sansan found out that it belongs to the Sansan. The person Mirpuri, they all know in several rupas, Shirdi Baba go and talk with people and bless. Lo and behold, he may be sitting here, right here in this congregation. None of you would find out except this Sai uncle. Sometimes he plays truant with me also. I'll find out. If he is there, one question I'll ask, I'll easily find out because he comes to my home, he eats with my home. You ask her how many days the lid comes off the sabji she makes. And then the beautiful cooking, culinary queen, she does it and then he comes and eats every day. Sometimes there'll be a noise, we all will be in the study. I'll be in the puja room, she'll be in the bedroom, or she'll be upstairs, my daughter studying. Something will be moving in the kitchen, somebody is eating. I can see that. I'll tell her, Baba is eating his food, the food that you make. Gopal Rao became a very big scientific officer. He became the chief of Atomic Energy Commission stationed in Hyderabad. Such people who see Shirdi Baba and listen to the stories will go up the rung, reach the top of the ladder. This is certain. This applies to my host. If this is the case, I'm very fond of this story, right? Hold on for one more second. Yeah, Mirpuri and then neon lights. I have time. Where is the host? You are here to my right. Good. We are concentrating on uncle. Of late, very brief story, a long story. I crunch it, I compress it, but then I cannot compress the miracles that he is doing. A couple in one of the southern cities, the wife is suffering from some deep depression, the wife. Watch the story. For how many miracles can I tell you? This is mother of all miracles or what? One day he walks into the kitchen, she is cooking, and then he is trying to take some insect from her hair. He raises his hand. The lady takes her cell phone and calls the famous number in this country, right? Not the number on PGBT, on your freeways, in case of emergency call. That's a different number. This is called a 9, Parabrahma number, and 11 followed by. She calls, thinking that my husband is going to manhandle me. He's going to hit me. And therefore I would call. That lady is not living in this country for a long time. Maybe 3-4 years. A similar case earlier, the lady was living there for 5 months in this country. The judge freed, asking, how long you were in this country? She dismissed the case. The lady said, 5 months. In 5 months, in 50 years, the female judge in Austin says, in 50 years, I didn't understand the meaning of 911. 5 months, you dare to understand and then call the cops against your husband. Different case. Different. Everything is different. This is another southern city. And the cops come and She says, in that mental condition, she tells the cops, my husband is manhandling me for a long time. I am not happy with that. I want separation. I want protection. And therefore, when she's saying the cops, what they do, you know that. Takes a handcuff and then arrest him. This is not an immigration case. He goes to jail. In the process, he is wondering, why should I go to jail? He is a gem of a man. This man in the southern city is full of integrity, full of character. He is helping his two daughters go to school, high school, elementary school. He drives them. He comes and helps. He cooks. And then he also takes care of the laundry of his wife and children. And then he is doing an IT job. I heard people doing 3 jobs, IT people. I heard people trying to do the 4th job. But look at this gentleman. He is doing so many jobs, he is equivalent to 9 jobs, 10 jobs, and then he is doing his IT job. Very successful in his job. I met with him just once, and help flowed from this uncle after meeting once. And he goes there, penitentiary. A good man languishing in jail. The case, I was in the city for half a day, very adjacent to a famous city. I go there, they call me to that small city. I go there and he meets with me. She meets with me and then tells me, in that condition, the day she meets with me is the day she suffers from that condition. She keeps on talking, never allows me to talk for about 55 minutes. After the 56th minute, I said, have you said enough about your husband? Can you please stop talking about your husband? Allow me to talk about you. Your husband is a gem of a man. I have not seen him. That day only, she came with one of the daughters. I'll say both the daughters or one daughter. I remember one daughter, 17 years old. I tell her, you are suffering from this. What kind of medicine you are taking? In this country, if you suffer from depression, they all give you a famous medicine. There are 4 or 5 medicines for depression. One of them is Abilify. Have you heard of Abilify? No, you shouldn't have heard of that. Sorry. Don't take Abilify. It'll eat your brain live after 3 months. MDs, forgive me. I don't mean anything. I've seen 2 cases in California. Both of them became worse. MDs do their job. I'm all praise for MDs because there are several MDs are there in my mission, worshipping Shirdi Baba. Therefore, they are better MDs. They are the best MDs. Coming back to this case, I told your husband will come to the temple, one small temple, old temple in that small town, near the famous town. Said, tomorrow morning I am coming here to meet the devotees. You bring your husband and your other daughter also. They come there. The husband is, my God, is a paradigm of perfection. Tell me your story. Before that, I'll tell you your story. I told the man, you are doing so much still. Questions, the karmic dance. Because of your pichhle janam ki karma, your earlier janma's karma, you went to jail. And then you are coming to see me. 3 months you are suffering. Your children are suffering. Your children, both of them are saying, how is your dad? Do you love? Oh, we dote on our dad. We love our dad. He should be. Uncle, they both 17 or 14. They say, please, release our dad. We need him. How about your mother? My mother needs my dad, our dad. So please get him out of that word I don't even want to say. They were crying. 17-year-old girl crying. I said, shed these tears. I'll give you a picture. Shed these tears in front of him. He will give answers to a 17-year-old child's tears. Tears, I remember a huge humor in the indie movie Amar Prem. I'm not getting into that. A few people, yesterday I said that to some of you. Oh, they know. My friend started laughing. My friend's wife started laughing till night, I was told. It involves one Hindi fellow, me and my branch manager of IIT Kanpur branch, fresh Madrasi Sahab in Uttar Pradesh. Hindi seekh rahe hain. We are learning Hindi. If I go, you will forget all Sai uncle, everything. This humor is too strong for you. So I am not. Na humor sollala. Romba strong humor. Right? Only Shiva uncle's coffee will smother that humor. It is so strong. So coming back to where were I? The fellow, I told the daughter, your tears will have an answer. I told, putting my foot down, my uncle will give you an answer. But my dad is already in penitentiary. Nothing. Everything will come to an end. Good things come to an end. Bad things come to an end. That is the Lord Shiva's dance about which I wrote in the email. There's a karmic account. He is caught in that account. We will remove that account and put him back in Chase Bank's account. Hey, you know what happened? They both went back. I gave the woody. Take the woody, Baba's woody, in warm water every night. The case is being heard. That lady told me, July, August 24th. September end. August 24th it is coming up for your hearing. Plenty of time. Baba can solve your problem tomorrow. Tomorrow he will solve. That husband, man of greatest character and integrity, very few people I see. This man was just listening to me, never spoke a word. Never spoke a word. He just stood and then did namaskar to me. Said, Uncle, we would like to meet with you after you come back from the... That happened too. Fast forward. 24th, nothing happened. The case got postponed to September 4th. Or you remember the date? September 4th, I think, or 12th. No, you don't know the case. What happened is what you should hear right now from the horse's mouth. I'm his horse, Shamkarna, from the horse's mouth. I have seen so many miracles. I want to tell your Vishwanath all these miracles. But I'm happy. He goes to Karyasiddhi Hanuman temple, meets with the Swamiji, whose mother is very well known to me. She talks with me from the photograph. Srimati Jayalakshmi Mataji, right? Her name. Son goes there. So he didn't find time. I agree with him. Goes there. Next day, he goes there September 12th. Grand jury waiting. The public prosecutor, the DA. On the August 24th, the DA, the family is now praying before Shirdi Baba and Udi Tirtham and all that. It was a white female. Nothing wrong about any of the things, Caucasian, nothing wrong about these things. I'm just mentioning the reality of this case because I'm Sai uncle. Male prosecutor. He just doesn't say anything. The judge says, I am postponing the case. She has read the case, looking at the woman and the man. You look at the man, just like looking at Shiva. This Shiva or that Shiva. Or professor. There are certain men, there are certain women too. You look at them, I see the light of the mind in their eyes, glistening eyes, in their beautiful eyes, the mind. I see the white, pure white minds. That is the consciousness mind, pure white. दुनिया में तो बहुत मुश्किल है, देखना बहुत मुश्किल, मिलना बहुत मुश्किल. Very difficult to find these people in the world. But I have found some people in South Haven in this congregation. I mentioned 2 of them, 3 of them. There are 2 more. The judge says, go and come back on September 12th. Now you all can go home. Grand jury, everybody goes home. September 12th comes. Public prosecutor, this fellow, the husband, is really shaky because there is going to be a judgment. I said the same words to him. Go to the court as if you are going to watch a soccer game. You remember everything, every bit. Mind-boggling miracle of Sai uncle. Go to this court, just walk in. Nevertheless, he told me later, after going there 40 minutes later, he came out and called me. He was shaking. I was shaking, uncle. I was literally shaking when I went there because the judgment day, my wife will be questioned. The public prosecutor was called by the judge There rose the person, she was a female, no longer the male public prosecutor. I am aware of that. I had told him that there'll be a new public prosecutor. I had to tell him something good, right? Otherwise, he will be shaking and he will be dying. The public prosecutor got up, went straight to his wife and said, how have you been? Are you doing well with your husband? India's culture is very great. People come here for a career. Indians working here, the median salary is the highest in this country. It has not been beaten by anybody, any other group. This is true. Even the highest authority in this land has said that. The great President of the United States. We are all proud of him. He said the Indian community is the greatest community, and people IQ. He didn't say the IQ. The average IQ of Indians is 127. I won't go further and talk about IQ of any other people in this country. 127 is your IQ. He stood up. She went and spoke. Are you all doing okay? What are the medications you are taking okay? A female prosecutor. As against a Caucasian prosecutor 2 weeks ago. And then he said, any other question? Public prosecutor says, no other question. She came back. The attorney was surprised. Her attorney was surprised. And then a few questions not asked. The judge told the husband who was shivering in the dock, they were going to ask him. She turns towards the husband and say, you can go home and live happily with your wife. He just jumped out of the dock. You're not supposed to. He was so happy. As against a penitentiary for this, such cases get, I don't know, I'm not a lawyer, maybe 3 years. Some of you lawyers, you'll know 7 years, maybe 1 year, or a heavy fine of $250,000. I don't know because I'm not a lawyer. I'm a spiritual advisor who can see these things. He was calmly waiting for the prosecutor says something. Prosecutor just. And the judge said, why are you waiting? 22 minutes the case was over. All the deliberations I told you. Such cases are rare. But when a man or a woman completely surrenders, B plus C is equal to yes, my equation, the Einsteinian equation I've introduced to this world, on which lots of people are doing a PhD in California, Berkeley, UCLA. That equation, the surrender. When you surrender, Baba does these miracles. When you come late to the puja, Baba will hesitate. Can I do this miracle in their life? And hence my request in the email, please come at 6:15. I do that. I told every city is my representative. See that everybody comes at 6:20 at least, because I want to start at 6. Do you know the secret why I come 5 minutes late? I don't want this bright devotees to lose 5 minutes of my satsang. Now you heard Sai Uncle's secret. I sometimes come 15 minutes because I have my people. Sapna will come and say, my wife will come and say, hardly 10 people, 11 people, all our families. Nobody has come. Time is 6:35. And hence, don't mistake me, I showed the watch too. Such a great person. I love him. I showed the watch because Baba asked me to show the watch. Hey, put the blame on Shri Baba. Right? I live within him. I know him. So now the person went their home in the small city. It's not a big city, small city. He and his wife and the girl called me and said, Baba did answer my tears. I said, shed your tears. Baba will bless you more. She is an high school senior. An high school senior applying for so many computer science courses and looking at artificial intelligence, AI, Chat GPT, Chat Gemini. Recently, several chats have come up. I don't remember the name, about 7 or 8 shown on the TV. Some of the Chat GPTs and Geminis probably are sitting here watching over me. I don't know. I don't know these chats, Geminis and all that. This is a possibility because the future of artificial intelligence, I'm reading a lot with the help of my wife and daughter. What is this artificial intelligence? I predicted it 25 years, 50 years ago in my engineering college as a student. A machine language will come, a machine person will come to annihilate humanity. My thermodynamics professor, my physics professor, Dr. Kolluri Venkataramanaya, a PhD from Michigan, said, "What are you talking about? Would you like to see a doctor, campus doctor at PSG college?" I said, "No, I'm talking the truth. You got to wait for about 40 years, wait for 36 years. That 36 years happened exactly, 40, 45 years is happening now. You may not be living now." This is how Shirdi Baba's trying to conquer your lives while answering all your questions. I know each and everybody has an answer. I bought this for 25, this list of 25 people who have questions. Because I told Madhuri ji had a question, she asked me. Dr. Sridevi of Visakhapatnam, she's in India now, she's not here. She asked me a big question about her daughter. Disappointing though, she became distrustful of Sai uncle. I have to give that answer that the daughter had to go to India because I don't see any road leading her. And much to her dismay, the mother's dismay, she's an MD in Visakhapatnam. I told, this is the reason your daughter will not get that job. Single reason. Of all the reasons in the universe, I told the reason, and she didn't get the job 2 days ago because of that reason. Baba has an answer. Now you see, I'm going to end. Baba has an answer for simple questions, very difficult questions. It could be IBM, it could be Dallas City Council, or it could be a giant corporate sector called Encore Electric Company. Baba has an answer. If you try to put your nose to the grindstone, our high school students know the meaning of this idiom. Adults, may or may not. Put your nose to the grindstone and take the MCAT title. Our high school students know this meaning. Work hard, right? Jyoti Garu knows the meaning. Right? Professor says, I learned it from my wife. He teaches medical students, he knows more terms. And therefore, I had dealt with this woman, the similar condition exists in several people. I invite Sri Anish Chandrani, 48 years old, and Srimati Sudha, 65 years old, and Srimati Mrs. Toral to our Houston Satsang. I mentioned because they all three, two of them met with me in the Baba temple in Houston. They started asking me bundles and bundles of questions. I also congratulate for the new bundle of joy. I already did to Soumya Jayadev in San Francisco, a bundle of joy. And I already congratulated so many people. I brought to you the thrilling experience of the scientific officer. I still have two, three very great miracles, but I do not have time, so let us go to the Ashtotram. I hope you enjoyed these miracles that I am enjoying in my life. Morning through evening, I get calls and emails. These emails that I am getting are all questions. What shall I do, uncle? How can I solve this problem? How can I understand Baba more? How can I get my daughter into Ramachandra Medical School? My son has got ADHD. What medication should I give for the ADHD? My son has got memory issues. My 4-year-old son has got autism. 1 year ago, a solution was given, answer was given by him. That boy is now talking Amma and all that. He says, I want water. Sometimes in English, sometimes in Telugu. He is watching this in a city. The child is 60% autism cured. All these miracles people are watching in that particular city. Several material things are happening. Somebody loses the key I said at 8:30 you will find it on the door of your bedroom. 8:29 they didn't get it. 8:30 the key appeared at the threshold of their bedroom. That host brings the key, said, "Here is the key, uncle." How did he say 8:30? I say, I have an answer, but I expect you to have a consciousness of 16. Gross body, subtle body, and mental body. You should be above mental body. In other words, you should be a God in front of me. You become a God and I am no God. You can create the keychain. That happened. There are so many people whose wives, they find the husband doing wrong things and vice versa. They come to me. Mama, cure my husband. Said, I cured him long ago when he came to your satsang. Again, it has gotten back. Send him to Delhi. Baba is very crisp in answering. Because in Delhi only, he will find solace in his life. There are a lot of details. I'm not saying all this. This is personal life. That devotee is sending me email every week. There are answers. Sometimes you don't like the answers. You have to like whatever answer that he gives you. You want to like the answer, and the answers come to you, and ultimately you will get good answers. Sometimes Baba will mislead you because of my email. The karma, the karmic dance is not yet complete. You are still dancing. Right? When you are still dancing, when you are still under the karmic zone, in the karmic zone, whatever answer he gives will not work. That is why some people are not getting answer. 2 years, 6 years. I ask them to wait. With that good word, please wait. Someday, including tonight, some of you will get the answers. With great humility, I say, I know the answers of everybody you are asking. I know the answers to all your questions. Sometimes I reveal next week. Please call me next week. And the next week for them is 7 years after. After 7 years, somebody called me. After 7 months, somebody is calling me. Hey, you didn't call me. I had an answer next week. Then I give the answer. I don't scold. Baba would have hit him with an iron rod or throw a stone. I don't throw a stone. That's what I throw. Let us do the puja. Next satsang, your home. Your home. I'll talk about R.B. Purandare, what kind of questions he had and how Baba solved. A little late. I said the last sentence. Example is Sri R.B. Purandare, a magnificent devotee who lived during Baba's times. I'll start with R.B. Purandare. If I don't, please remind me in your home. Okay? All right. If everybody is ready. Om Sri Sai. Sri Sai Nadaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Sai Nadaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Lakshmi Narayana Namaha. Om Sri Sai Krishna Rama Siva Maruti Yati Rupaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Sesha Sai Ne Namaha. Om Sri Sai Godavari Tatashila Divasine Namaha. Om Sri Sai Bhakta Hridayalaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Sarva Hridaya Vasine Namaha. Om Sri Sai Buddha Vasaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Buddha Bhavishya Pava Varjitaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Kalatitaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Kalaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Kala Kalaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Kala Darpa Damanaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Mrityunjayaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Amartyaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Martya Abhaya Pradaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Jeevadharyaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Sarvadharaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Bhaktavana Samarthaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Bhaktavana Pradignyaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Annavastradaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Arogyakshemadaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Dhanamangalya Pradaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Dhanamangalya Pradaya Namaha. Riddhi Siddhidaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Putra Mitra Kalatra Bandhudaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Yoga Shema Vahaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Apad Bandhavaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Marga Bandhave Namaha. Om Sri Sai Bhukti Mukti Swarga Pavargataya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Priyaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Priyaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Preeti Vardhanaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Antaryamine Namaha. Om Sri Sai Sachidatmane Namaha. Om Sri Sai Nityanandaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Paramasugataya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Parameshwaraya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Parabrahmane Namaha. Om Sri Sai Paramatmane Namaha. Om Sri Sai Paramatmane Namaha. Om Sri Sai Jnana Surupine Namaha. Om Sri Sai Jagadapitreye Namaha. Bhaktanam Matrudatru Pitamahaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Bhaktanam Matrudatru Pitamahaya Namaha. Bhakta Abhaya Pradaya Namaha. Bhakta Paradinaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Bhakta Anugraha Kataraya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Saranagada Vatsalaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Bhakti Sakti Pradaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Jnana Vairagyataya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Prema Pradaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Prema Pradaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Samshaya Hridaya Daurbalya Papa Karma Vasana Shayakaraya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Hridaya Granthi Vedagaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Karma Dvamsine Namaha. Om Sri Sai Sutta Sasvastidaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Gunadida Gunatmane Namaha. Om Sri Sai Gunadida Gunatmane Namaha. Om Sri Sai Ananta Kalyana Gunaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Amita Parakramaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Amita Parakramaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Jaine Namaha. Om Sri Sai Jaine Namaha. Om Sri Sai Durdarsha Shobhaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Aparajitaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Trilekeshu Avigatagataye Namaha. Asakyarahidaya Namaha. Sarvasakti Murtaye Namaha. Om Sri Sai Surupa Sundaraya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Surupa Sundaraya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Sulokshanaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Bahiruba Vishwamurtaye Namaha. Om Sri Sai Arubhavyaktaaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Ashintaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Sushmaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Sushmaya Namaha. Sarvantaryamine Namaha. Manovagatitaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Prema Murtaye Namaha. Om Sri Sai Prema Murtaye Namaha. Sulabhadullabhaya Namaha. Asahaya Sahayaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Asahaya Sahayaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Anathanatha Dina Bandhave Namaha. Om Sri Sai Akarmaneka Karma Sukarmine Namaha. Om Sri Sai Akarmaneka Karma Sukarmine Namaha. Sarva Bharaptute Namaha. Om Sri Sai Punya Shravana Kirtanaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Deeptaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Vasudevaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Satam Gataye Namaha. Om Sri Sai Satparayanaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Lokanadaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Bhavananagaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Amrutamsave Namaha. Om Sri Sai Amrutamsave Namaha. Bhaskara Prabhaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Brahmacharya Tapasa Saryadi Suvrataya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Brahmacharya Tapas Saryadi Suvrataya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Satya Dharma Parayanaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Siddheshwaraya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Siddha Shankalpaya 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 Namaha. Yogeshwaraya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Bhagavate Namaha. Om Sri Sai Bhaktavatsalaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Satpurushaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Purushottamaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Purushottamaya Namaha. Satyadattva Bodhagaya Namaha. Purushottamaya Namaha. Kamadi Sadvairidvamsine Namaha. Om Sri Sai Kamadi Sadvairidvamsine Namaha. Samasarvamata Sammataya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Om Sri Sai Venkatesaramanaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Venkatesaramanaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Atpudananda Charyaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Prabhannarthi Haraya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Samsara Sarva Dukkha Chayakaraya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Samsara Sarva Dukkha Chayakaraya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Samsara Sarva Dukkha Chayakaraya Namaha. Sarvavid Sarvato Mukaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Sarvantar Bhakistidaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Sarva Mangalagaraya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Sarva Mangalagaraya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Sarva Mangalagaraya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Sarvamangalagaraaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Sarvamangalagaraaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Sarvamangalagaraaya Namaha. Sarvabhishtapradaaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Samarasa Shanmarga Sthapanaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Samartha Sadguru Sai Nadaya Namaha. Sadguru Sai Nadaya Namaha. Sai Nadaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Anantakoti Brahmandanayaga Rajadhiraja Yogi Raja Parabrahma Sri Sachidananda Sadguru Maharaj Ki Jai. In the 1 minute silence, you are free to pray for any soul in the world, any soul out of the world, for your MD degree, for your step 1, step 2, for your children, for your Mr. Prince you are looking for. Anything under the sun is allowed. Everything. Only condition is dharmic desires. Please go ahead.
शिर्डी माझे पंढरपूर साई बाबा रमावर साई रमावर साई बाबा रमावर शुद्ध भक्ती चंद्रभागा भाव पुंडलिक जागा भाव पुंडलिक जागा याहू याहू अवघे जन करा बाबासी वंदन साईसी वंदन करा बाबासी वंदन गणू म्हणे बाबा साई धाव पाव माझे आई धाव पाव माझे आई.
ॐ साई नमो नमः. श्री साई नमो नमः. जय जय साई नमो नमः. सद्गुरु साई नमो नमः. ॐ साई नमो नमः. श्री साई नमो नमः. जय जय साई नमो नमः. सद्गुरु साई नमो नमः.
ॐ साई नमो नमः. श्री साई नमो नमः. जय जय साई नमो नमः. सद्गुरु साई नमो नमः.
ॐ साई नमो नमः. श्री साई नमो नमः. जय जय साई नमो नमः. सद्गुरु साई नमो नमः.